Join me as I dive into Nassim Taleb's take on Bitcoin problems and see if I can unpack his insights in just 10 minutes. Nassim Taleb is a name that needs no introduction, especially when it comes to understanding uncertainty and randomness in complex systems. As a philosopher and statistician, Taleb has built a reputation for being a vocal critic of flawed economic theories and irresponsible risk-taking. And when it comes to Bitcoin, Taleb has been one of the most vocal skeptics out there, highlighting the flaws and inconsistencies in the cryptocurrency's design and valuation. So, what are his main concerns about Bitcoin, and how do they relate to the broader financial landscape? One of Taleb's main issues with Bitcoin is its inherent instability. He argues that the cryptocurrency's value is entirely dependent on speculation and hype, rather than any underlying intrinsic value. This, he claims, makes it prone to wild fluctuations in price and vulnerable to speculative bubbles. Another major concern is the lack of regulation and oversight in the cryptocurrency space, which Taleb believes creates an environment ripe for fraud and manipulation. Furthermore, he's critical of the idea that Bitcoin can be seen as a store of value, given its lack of tangible backing and the fact that it can be easily replicated or replaced. Lastly, Taleb takes issue with the notion that Bitcoin is a hedge against inflation or economic downturns, pointing out that it's largely untested in these scenarios and lacks any empirical evidence to support these claims. Taleb is quick to point out that Bitcoin's decentralization is largely a myth, given that a small group of miners and whales control the majority of the network's power and wealth. He likens this concentrated power structure to a fragile, top-heavy building that's prone to collapse under its own weight. Another analogy he uses is that of a tulip, referencing the infamous Dutch tulip mania of the 17th century, where the value of tulip bulbs skyrocketed to unsustainable levels before collapsing. Taleb argues that Bitcoin's value is similarly detached from reality, driven by speculation and hype rather than any fundamental value. One of the most compelling insights from Taleb's critique is his emphasis on the importance of skin in the game. He argues that Bitcoin's decentralized nature means that no single individual or entity has a stake in the system's long-term success, leading to a lack of accountability and responsibility. This, he claims, creates an environment where reckless behavior and short-term thinking are encouraged, rather than discouraged. Another key point Taleb makes is that the cryptocurrency's lack of regulation and oversight means that it's largely untested in terms of its ability to withstand external shocks or crises. The most striking aspect of Taleb's critique, in my opinion, is his observation that Bitcoin's main appeal lies not in its utility or value as a currency, but rather in its ability to facilitate speculation and trading. He argues that this speculative nature makes it inherently unstable and prone to collapse, much like a house of cards. This is a critical point, as it highlights the fact that Bitcoin's value is largely derived from its ability to facilitate get-rich-quick schemes and speculation, rather than any underlying utility or value. In summary, Taleb's main arguments against Bitcoin are that it lacks intrinsic value, is prone to speculative bubbles, and is inherently unstable due to its decentralized nature and lack of regulation. He also critiques the idea that Bitcoin can be seen as a store of value or hedge against inflation, pointing out that it's largely untested in these scenarios and lacks any empirical evidence to support these claims. Thanks for watching. And I'd love to hear your thoughts on Taleb's views on Bitcoin in the comments below. If you're new here, consider subscribing for more content on cryptocurrency, financial philosophy, and more.